You got guys that punch hard and hit hard, and you got guys that can win a few rounds. But nothing really was tough.
Okay. A lot of people are saying that Usyk heavyweight run isn't a lot of fighters at heavyweight, of course, because he only fought, what's that, 1, 2, or 5 fighters at heavyweight.
So again, I think Oleksandr Usyk is an exceptional fighter, but you need someone that can actually match his work rate. Okay, and Anthony Jabiel can match his work rate, go to the body, he's going to follow a game plan.
Floyd Mayweather believes fans are too quick to crown new legends without fully understanding the bigger picture. He questions whether Oleksandr Usyk truly deserves the widespread praise he's been receiving. Known for his confidence, Mayweather insists that no fighter, past or present, can match his greatness, and that includes Usyk. While many fans are quick to label Usyk as an all-time great, Floyd strongly disagrees. He acknowledges Usyk's talent but argues that his own legacy stands in a league of its own. Having retired undefeated, conquered multiple weight divisions.
I'll let you know. There's no fighter that will ever be better. There's no fighter that wasn't better than me before me or after me or when I'm long gone. I'm the best.
Critics like Showbiz the Adult offer a compelling counterpoint to the growing acclaim surrounding Oleksandr Usyk. While many celebrate Usyk as an all-time great for his dominance in the heavyweight division, Showbiz questions whether the quality of his opponents truly justifies such praise. The core of the argument lies in the caliber of competition Usyk has faced. If the fighters he defeated weren't elite or were past their prime, then the significance of those victories is diminished. Aside from Tyson Fury, often
that Usyk heavyweight run isn't a lot of fighters at heavyweight, of course, because he only fought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fighters at heavyweight. But they saying that it's full of quality, right? I want you to understand, with quality. Witherspoon isn't an all-time great heavyweight. Brother Tim Witherspoon, you can argue, but Witherspoon, no. Derek Chisora is not an all-time great heavyweight. He's not. He's a fantastic competitor, but if you look at who he lost to, Chisora is not an all-time heavyweight. He's not. Dubois is not yet an all-time great heavyweight. Look at who he fought, who he struggled with, who he lost to. Dubois is an all-time great heavyweight. So we're left, when you say quality, we're left with Tyson the Gypsy King Fury and Anthony A.J. Joshua. Now, if you guys think AJ is an all-time great heavyweight, you can. I can understand that. There's an argument to be made. But Anthony Joshua, think about him and a lot of other great heavyweights. Anthony Joshua, to the likes of Ruiz, been knocked out by Ruiz, was knocked out by Dubois. Anthony Joshua, I'm not sure if you would consider him an all-time great heavyweight, but you can make an argument. Tyson Fury definitely can. So beating Tyson Fury is really Usyk's claim to fame. This is his thing.
Another perspective from analysts is that Oleksandr Usyk's brilliance is better appreciated through the lens of pound-for-pound rankings rather than as part of the all-time heavyweight legacy. They highlight his exceptional footwork, sharp defense, and high ring IQ, calling him a master technician and a modern-day great. However, these experts stop short of labeling him an all-time heavyweight legend. In their view, Usyk's greatness stems more from his unique style and adaptability than from victories over historically elite opponents.
But let's talk about Usyk. His performance was okay, that's number one. And many of you say, well, Usyk is a top all-time great heavyweight. I don't agree. Because Usyk has only had lightweight fights. Is very stacked within the fights, but really it's hard to put him past people 30+, 40+ fights and just had a great all-time career ahead.
Another perspective from analysts is that Oleksandr Usyk's brilliance is better appreciated through the lens of pound-for-pound rankings rather than as part of the all-time heavyweight legacy. They highlight his exceptional footwork, sharp defense, and high ring IQ, calling him a master technician and a modern-day great. However, these experts stop short of labeling him an all-time heavyweight legend. In their view, Usyk's greatness stems more from his unique style and adaptability than
harsh on Daniel Dubois after the fight. I think I'm, being fair in being a bit harsh on him. I think Daniel Dubois is an exceptional fighter, but there is something, where it's a confidence thing. And I think Oleksandr Usyk, give him a lot of credit. His jab looked exceptional on Saturday, and really that first jab that landed on Daniel Dubois, it snapped his head back. It was a powerful jab. It actually reminded me of Turbiev's jab when it snaps it, and it was obviously a very powerful shot. So I think he was confused by Usyk, and I think he just looked so discouraged to me. Again, take nothing away from Oleksandr Usyk, an exceptional performance, and he really didn't even get out of second gear. And he didn't even need to. Now, obviously, there's a lot of talk about what he's next. In my really, there's only one fight that I want to see. For me, that's Adric Caballel. I think Adric Caballel is someone that number one knows how to go to the body. I think if Oleksandr Usyk does have a weakness in the body, I think Adric Caballel will follow up on game plan. He's had a good string of wins, and I think his stamina is very good as well. And Usyk is winning a lot of these fights based on his stamina and his footwork. These big heavyweights like Daniel Dubois, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, they cannot live with the pace setting. I mean, Daniel Dubois was knackered after 3 rounds. Okay, so they can't live with the pace. So again, I think Oleksandr Usyk is an exceptional fighter. You need to match him with someone that can actually match his. Okay, and for me, Adric Caballel can match his work, go to the body. He's going to follow a game plan.
Showbiz emphasizes that placing Oleksandr Usyk alongside legendary names like Muhammad Ali and Evander Holyfield is premature. He argues that Usyk's current resume doesn't warrant a seat at that elite table. In Showbiz's view, the greatest fighters in history are defined not just by their talent, but by the caliber of competition they conquered. He points out that even Usyk's top 5 opponents wouldn't make it into the top 5 of Ali or Holyfield's list, highlighting
I cannot put that over the likes of Evander the Real Deal fighting and beating the likes of Riddick Bowe, beating the George Foreman when he beat George Foreman was a killer. Beating George Foreman, beating the likes of Mike Tyson. He was a huge underdog there. Beating the Larry Holmes, beating Michael Moorer, Evander beating Michael Dokes, if you guys know who that is and how good of a fight was. Evander the Real Deal Holyfield has great brain. I cannot put Usyk with his 5 heavyweight opponents, great heavyweights who made careers at heavyweight. We all know what Muhammad Ali did. Muhammad Ali beat the who's who of heavyweights. He fought them all and he beat them, okay? But then you have guys like Larry Holmes who have beaten the Ernest, who have beaten the Ken Nortons. You have the likes of Jack Johnson, which when you look at his box rec, you see his record and know what he had to overcome to be so great.
When Daniel Dubois stepped into the ring with Oleksandr Usyk, many anticipated a fierce battle. However, post-fight analysis revealed several shortcomings in Dubois's preparation and performance. Observers pointed to flawed footwork, a lack of head movement, and an inability to apply consistent pressure. These issues raised an important question: was Usyk truly dominant, or was Dubois simply underwhelming? While Usyk emerged as the clear winner, some argue the fight showcased Dubois's
very pro-Dubois, and we were willing in a London boy and stuff like that. I thought first round. Thought Usyk won the second round, but I thought there was argument certainly giving Dubois the third round, but you could see even in the fight things were starting to change after the second round. Usyk just had extra little bit of class about him.
I didn't like him for any rounds. I just thought Usyk was so dominant, and that jab, and I'm not no boxing expert, I'm a casual. Casual. I just love to see big heavyweights box each other, knockouts. But I just feel like Usyk just was even out of second gear. Like he didn't need to be. Had him on that jab, and he just kept plowing away. Whenever Dubois tried to land like a big shot, like one of those big punches that you talk about.
Renowned trainer Teddy Atlas delivered a sharp critique of Daniel Dubois's performance against Oleksandr Usyk, highlighting the British fighter's failure to adapt despite already being familiar with Usyk's power and movement. Atlas's most pointed criticism was Dubois's lack of bodywork and the absence of a coherent game plan. He argued that Dubois approached the fight as if it were an ordinary match, rather than the strategic war it needed to be. This lack of tactical preparation left.
I still thought, with the game, how do you not see that and adjust 3 rounds later and do it again? But the more disturbing thing to me, Bud, was the body work from Dubois. How do you not the body after what happened in the first fight? How do you not test that? He didn't body shot maybe until the 3rd round, and maybe he threw a couple throughout the whole entire fight, or as long as it lasted into the 5th round. Surprising to me, and I thought they dropped the ball big time with that as well.
you know, to that point, he did throw the one body shot. I'm not going to get to this because it was only one. It almost looked like it bothered Usyk.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Looked like very similar to the first fight, that belt line, right?
Yeah. But it was low. It was a little low. It was. No doubt about it. No doubt. But still, to your point, how do you leave that alone? And then I'm going to, early in the show, when I put the Holloway Poirier fight, I'm going to go back to that real quick now. Holloway won because he won because he's great and because he's who he is and because of his makeup and his intestinal fortitude, his skill. I understand all that. But he won the way he won this fight because he had a great fight plan. No point. To our point. Dubois had no fight plan. And to my... I'm going to question. You ask a brilliant question. See, the show was so much better with you. I'm sorry. I'm not knocking nobody. I'm grateful for everyone. And everything the history of this show has been. But you open up conversation for me by bringing me down places. Conversation needs to be opened by asking certain things that are relevant in this sport. And what you brought up is how. And I'm going to answer that question. How do you have a better fight plan? How do you not adjust when you made those mistakes in the second and third round that are made reaching in? You see the guy stepping out. You see he's setting traps. How do you not adjust to that? I'm going to answer it, bud. Part of that is Dubois is that what I was explaining about being awkward, about being, you know, a guy that kind of like, you know, he gets directed. He's the kind of guy like, you direct him, you give him more confidence, and he's good. And he did that. He did it in the Hurt fight. He walked through right hands. He did it in the Joshua fight. He took charge, he caught him. He did. But you can't do that in some fights.
Usyk's dominant performance over Daniel Dubois impressed many analysts and further cemented his status as a technical master of the sport. Becoming a three-time undisputed champion is a remarkable achievement, showcasing his ability to outclass opponents with precision rather than sheer power. This strategic control in the ring has become his signature. However, despite these accolades, comparisons to Muhammad Ali continue to fall short. Ali's legacy extends far beyond his accomplishments. His culture.
Oleksandr Usyk just knocked out Daniel in the 5th round.
Oleksandr Usyk at his scintillating best with a flip counter to the chin. A good night for Daniel Dubois, and all rise for the brilliance of Oleksandr Usyk.
Man, I can't lie to you, bro. That overhand is different. Is different. He put it right on the... That's taking you out, bro. It's good. I'm not gonna lie, man. When it comes to heavyweight, you have to put Oleksandr Usyk. He's top 10, bro. It might be crazy to say 5, but you gotta look at what he's doing, bro. When it comes to heavyweights, bro, he's different. He's different. It's just simple and plain. After this performance, where do you guys rank Usyk all time? Just strictly heavyweights. When it comes to heavyweights, where do you guys rank him all time? I'm not gonna lie, he's gotta be top 10.
Debates continue to stir among boxing fans over who would triumph in a fantasy matchup between Muhammad Ali and Oleksandr Usyk. Surprisingly, a notable number believe that Usyk's unique southpaw stance, technical finesse, and unorthodox angles would pose serious problems for even a prime Ali. They argue that his feints, discipline, and high ring IQ could potentially outsmart the legendary heavyweight. While this view remains a minority opinion, it underscores the respect Usyk has earned for his cerebral...
We've got to have an awkward conversation. Muhammad Ali versus Oleksandr Usyk. Who wins this fight? The tale of the tape, both men are pretty much just the same. Not entirely sure on the birthday thing though, someone can go and fact check that. And Usyk did actually weigh heavier than 220 pounds when he fought Blah. But regardless of that, the two absolute legends sport, who would win this? Now, for me, if I'm honest with you, oh man, this is going to be a real hot... I think Usyk wins this, you know. Perfect. I love Muhammad Ali. My favourite boxers of all time to watch. I can still go back and watch both right now and enjoy them. Definitely ahead of his time. But when I watch Oleksandr Usyk and the way that he boxes and that sort of Soviet style, that Ukrainian style now has come on over the years. The fact that most of Muhammad Ali's opponents were of weight a lot of his opponents and still dominating them. I think Usyk does it. This is going to be a bit of a hot take. I do think that their heavyweight division is probably than it was when Muhammad Ali was around in terms of the actual caliber of fighters. The fact that fighters can only really fight twice a year at max in a heavyweight now, especially when you're at the very, very top, whereas Muhammad Ali's age, they could genuinely 5-6 times a year sometimes. I think it speaks a lot to how the ball has really come on. But yeah, let me know you're in the comments. I know I'm going to get an absolute lashing one, but yeah, I think Oleksandr Usyk beats Muhammad Ali. I can't believe I've just said that, but here's what it is. I think Usyk's too technical, too good. I think he would actually knock Muhammad Ali out, especially given that Muhammad Ali had a pull backwards with his chin in the air, and I think probably finds that. Not to mention that Shaddam pretty much the same, so Usyk isn't punching up or anything like that. Anyway, let me know in the comments. As always, like and share, appreciate content. Hit that follow button. Peace out.
Supporters of the Usyk versus Ali debate often highlight the striking physical and stylistic similarities between the two fighters. Both operate in the heavyweight division with comparable height and weight, relying on speed, footwork, and finesse rather than brute strength. But the comparisons go beyond mere statistics. Each has redefined what it means to be a technical heavyweight. Ali revolutionized the sport in the 1960s with his jab, lateral movement, and unmatched agility, while Usyk is reshaping the modern heavyweight landscape with his precise footwork and spatial control. Their shared ability to win without relying on knockout power sets them apart from most of their peers. Adding to the conversation, heavyweight legend Lennox Lewis weighed in, claiming that had he and Usyk fought in the same era, he would have emerged victorious. Lewis argues that today's heavyweights struggle against Usyk because they fail to disrupt his rhythm or break his flow.
How do you think Oleksandr Usyk would have done in your era, the era of Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson? How do you think he would have done against you contemporaries?
I would have to compare him to Evander Holyfield. I think he would have done very well. I don't think he would have lasted against me because I throw a mean uppercut in there, and notice he gets caught with uppercuts, so he wouldn't have been able to stand up to me.
Perfect.